Welcome to Yamcha Therapy again. Welcome to Hooked on Dopamine. Today's podcast where we dive into the hidden force behind our habits and behaviors. I'm your host Hayden again, and today we're talking about something you experience every day. Dopamine. Imagine this. You're sitting on your couch, planning to relax for a bit. You open TikTok, promising yourself just 5 minutes. But suddenly, an hour has passed, and you've watched 50 cat videos. Uh, or you grab one piece of chocolate, but somehow the whole bar disappears. As for me, it's ice cream. Why does this happen? The answer lies in something called the dopamine loop. Dopamine is often called the feel-good chemical, but it's not about just feeling good. It's what drives us to seek, chase, and repeat behaviors that we think will bring us pleasure. It's like a little voice in your brain saying, oh, what's next? Whether it's scrolling, snacking, or binge watching, dopamine is behind the scene pulling the strings. Today, we'll break it all down, what dopamine is, why it makes us hooked, how modern life takes advantage of it, and most importantly, how you can break free. Let's dive. So, what exactly is dopamine? Picture this. Dopamine is like your brain little cheerleader. It's the chemical that motivates you to get out of bed in the morning, finish a project, or chase after things you want. But here's the twist. Dopamine doesn't reward you for getting something. It rewards you for anticipating it. Think about you order your favorite food. The dopamine spikes doesn't happen when you bite or eat or lick the ice cream for me. It starts when you think about it. When you hear the delivery guy knock or smell it wafting through the door, your brain is already celebrating. Here's another example. Ever been super excited about an online sale, 11/11 or Black Friday? The dopamine hits you as you add items into your cart. Imagine all the cool stuff you're about to own. But once the package arrives, the thrill fades quickly. That's dopamine for you. It's all about the chase, not the catch. Dopamine role is important. It kept our ancestors alive by motivating them to hunt, gather, and explore in the old days. But in today's world, where everything is at our fingertips, it's like giving a toddler endless candy. Our brains are constantly chasing that next hit of dopamine, whether it's from a text, notification, a viral video, or even a perfect crispy French fries. Love it. Now that we know what dopamine is, or what dopamine does, let's talk about the dopamine loop. This is the cycle of cue, action, reward, repeat. Let me break it down with an example that you'll recognize. You're watching Netflix and an episode ends. Cue. The autoplay features starts the next episode without you lifting a finger. Action. You keep watching, thinking, just one more. Reward, the show gets good and you're hooked. And repeat. Suddenly it's 2, 3 a.m. in the morning and you're too invested to stop. Sounds like someone I know. Social media takes this to a whole new level. Ever notice how Instagram and TikTok keep feeding you videos that seem perfectly suited to your interest? That's the algorithm giving you little dopamine rewards to keep you scrolling. And it works because of something called intermittent reinforcement. This brings us to B.F. Skinner, a famous psychologist who studied how behavior can be shaped through reward. Skinner conducted an experiment with pigeons in the 1950s. He put them in what's called a Skinner box and gave them food, pellets when they pecked a button. Here's where it gets interesting. When the pigeons got food every time they pecked, they stopped pecking once they were full. But when Skinner made the reward unpredictable, sometimes the button gave food and sometimes it didn't. The pigeons became obsessed. They pecked the button over and over, hoping for the next reward. Sounds familiar? That's how social media and game work. You don't know when you'll see a funny meme, get a like on your post, or find a rare item in a game. This unpredictability keeps you coming back for more. It's just like Skinner's pigeon. Even video games are designed this way. The thrill of unlocking new levels, earning rewards, or finding rare items keeps player hooked. It's no accident. It's about keeping the dopamine spinning. The modern world has become a dopamine factory. Let's start with food. Remember those chips that you swore you'd eat just once? They're literally engineered to be addictive, sadly. The combination of salt, crunch, and flavor is a dopamine dream. Your brain says, this is amazing, let's eat more. Online shopping, same thing. Think about the dopamine rush of finding a deal, clicking buy now, and tracking your package. And when the package arrives, another hit. But by then, you're already thinking about what to order next. Even your phone is designed to trap you. Those little red notification bubbles, they're cues of your brain to take action. Every time you check your phone and see a like, comment, or message, you get a tiny dopamine reward. That's why we feel anxious when our phones are out of reach. We're craving that next hit. This constant stimulate leaves us in a state of overstimulation. The more we feed the dopamine loop, the harder it becomes to focus on slower, less exciting activity like reading, meditating, or even having meaningful conversations. So how to break free? For the big question, how do we break free from the dopamine loop without giving up all the things we enjoy? Here are some simple, easy strategies. Recognize the loop is the first one. It's very simple, awareness. Start noticing when you're caught in the loop. For example, if you pick up the phone out of boredom, ask yourself, what am I looking for? Recognizing the patterns helps you take back control of yourself. Set boundaries. Put limit on high dopamine activities. For example, try setting a timer when you're on social media or watching a TV. Once the timer goes off, switch to something less stimulating, like maybe journaling or go for a walk. The third one is delay gratification. Training your brain to wait for reward rather than rush for it. For example, if you're craving chocolate, tell yourself to have it 10 minutes later. In that 10 minutes, maybe you can go for a walk. The more you practice delaying gratification, the less dependent you'll be on instant dopamine hits. You could also create a dopamine-free zone. You can design certain times or space in your day to be free from distractions. For example, no phones at the dinner table or during the first 30 minutes of your morning routine. Use this time to focus on slower, more mindful activities. You could also replace high dopamine habits, like find healthier alternative things that hooked you. Instead of scrolling on your phone before bed, try reading a book or listening to like calming music. Instead of binging like a TV show, take up a creativity hobby like drawing or cooking. Writing too. Journaling, a very good one. So allow me to give you a fun example. I once challenged myself to replace my before bedtime phone scrolling puzzle. At first, it felt bored compared to the endless dopamine hits on my phone, but over time, I realized I felt more relaxed and satisfied after solving puzzles than I did after an hour scrolling. So, in that time, of course, you can play puzzles, which I did. You can journal. You can have your before bedtime routine like shower or brushing your teeth. You can do many activities. A lot of scientists recommend to practice mindfulness. It's like a superpower for breaking the loop. Next time you feel the urge to grab your phone, you could pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, do I really need this right now? Sometimes just a moment of awareness is enough to break the cycle. So breaking free from the dopamine loop isn't about giving up all the things you love. It's about finding balance and taking control of your habits. Dopamine is an incredible tool. It's what motivates us to achieve, explore, and connect. But when it's overstimulated, it can leave us feeling drained and stuck in unhealthy cycles. By understanding how dopamine works, recognizing your triggers, and practicing intentional habits, you can break free from the loop and live a more balanced, present, fulfilling life. So, thanks for tuning into Yamcha therapy in terms of hooked on dopamine. If you enjoyed today's episode, share it with someone who always have a habit of just one more episode away from a Netflix binge. Until next time, stay curious, stay mindful, and remember, you're in control of your dopamine, not the other way around. Thank you.